this ain't, and this is just for everybody, because my mind is not right now. I'm in a fucked up state. I'm not happy. For real. And I'm not sane. And truth be told, I don't want to be here on earth no more.
Hey, you guys, I hope you're doing well on this Wednesday, June 4th. It's June 4th, 2025. Okay, so if you remember in our other Darnell Jones Ogletree videos, we did Diabolical Darnell, where we went over all his mental situation, and he had a great many of them. We went over all that. Now, in this video, I want to go over the criminal aspect of what Darnell Jones has done in the past. So this is mostly his past situations with the law that he went through. And sometimes, your mental illness can definitely go into a criminal situation. So we'll start that one now. Darnell Jones Ogletree has a criminal record that stretches as far back as 15 years. But when it came down to the law, he managed to get a slap on the wrist, it seems like every time. Darnell's first arrest was in 2011, when he was 19 years old. He was intoxicated and screaming outside his apartment. He had a machete on him, and he made threats to the officers when they arrived to arrest him. Now, months later, still 19, him and another man attempted to set fire to a Toledo warehouse using a lighter and flammable liquids. He was charged with arson, and he pled guilty to a lesser charge and was placed on probation. So now these sentences would make Darnell a convicted felon, though he was on probation. In 2015, when Darnell was 22 years old, he was firing a gun at a neighbor. He wasn't supposed to have a gun because remember, he had prior situations which made him a convicted felon, and he received probation once again for, you would think that would be attempted murder, but I don't know how they charged him. However, he received probation for that. When he violated his probation for smashing a window during a work release program, it's like they just added on. Continuously, this man kept getting probation. In 2017, he smashed a car alternator into another man's face, resulting in a felonious assault charge. The victim required 20 stitches, and he pled to a lesser charge for that also, and he did avoid significant jail time. Now, as I was combing Darnell's Facebook page, which is still up, Darnell was married. I don't know how many times he was married, but I do believe that this is the wife that he had around 2019. In the early 20 to maybe mid 20, well, we're in mid 20 now, but from early 20 to like mid 2020, I believe he was with a woman. I'm not sure if she was his wife, but I do know they share children together. And it would not be surprising if he was overlapping relationships or having relationships run concurrent. I know you guys hate when I say this, but he is an attractive man. And easier on the eyes, I guess you can get away with things easier. Don't act like this is new. Don't act like this is new. But these two women, I believe he may have been running concurrent, okay? Residing at a 4th Street apartment in Toledo, Darnell held his wife over a balcony, threatening to drop her. Police arrived. Darnell also had a knife on him. He was charged with DV, but later pled no contest, and he served no jail time in that assault either. And he had to complete a substance abuse program. Shortly, he did boast about completing the program being drug free on a screening and actually challenge other people to post if they were drug free as well. So he was kind of proud that he completed that program. And around the time that first lady in the video was with him around that time, that's why it may be his wife, but Darnell, he is with various women, so I'm not really sure who was his wife at the time, but okay, so be it. Let's just move on. Now, records show multiple disorderly conducts, weapon violations, and threats still against the police were going on between this time. So months and years would go by, and he pretty much was still carrying on the same way. Now, in August 13th, 2019, okay, Darnell would post that snippet of the video that you listened to when you just entered this video. And I'm going to play that one towards the end. Remember, that was August 13, 2029, a month after he would put his then wife over the balcony. August 2022, Darnell was indicted after he was found drunk at a daycare. He was firing a gun at a daycare center. He was in the parking lot. And he was also discovered with a crack pipe with him. He served several months in corrections at the center of Northwest Ohio. I don't know if he was going to maybe pick up his children, because he does have very young children. I don't know if the daycare was even open, but that's what he was doing in August of 22. And this would be 3 years before he would assault and murder his daughter. And Darnell is currently awaiting trial at the Lucas County with a death penalty over his head. So Darnell has been, getting pretty much slaps on the wrist and getting away with anything, serving very small to no amounts in jail. I would not be surprised if he does not get the death penalty. I would not be surprised. It's very seldom, like what we went over in Diabolical Darnell, they very seldom give a death penalty charge to someone who is considered mentally ill. Now, he has a lot of other things on his plate, so they have to weigh the options and see, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just walks away with life in a regular prison, not a mental ill facility, because he has too much criminal aspects to a lot of the crimes that he does. So I just wouldn't be surprised at that. So there have been 234 pieces of evidence that have been entered in the court so far. Most of them are photos, and there's a lot of videos, body cam, of course, and that Ring doorbell footage that allegedly, I have to say allegedly because I haven't seen it yet. Others say that they've seen it, but I haven't seen it yet, where someone had a Ring camera and they could actually see him dragging Kimani to that abandoned area, or maybe even out of her home. That could have been, but that footage is going to be brought to court, used in court as well. And there are tons of recorded interviews with Darnell, also people that are surrounding this case, probably Kimani's grandmother, Dorothy Lateague, maybe even the mother or sister, I'm not sure, but several interviews are also added in the court. And of course, the evidence that Nina Turner entered. Now, I was also on her page. I know she has more than one Facebook page, but I was on, I guess, what used to be her main Facebook page, where, people are kind of talking trash about her, but she didn't want to be identified. She didn't want to be known. But the only reason why I'm saying her name is because it's in the articles. It's not like a hush-hush deal, but she is the woman that helped these police where he was. She was the woman that kind of also guided him to the evidence that he put underneath the porch. And she is the mother of either one or two of his kids, maybe more. I don't There's a lot of kids, that I've seen on her page. So he's the father of, a child or two of Nina's. So she turned him in. Other women wouldn't have done that quick. She turned his ass in. So, I don't think people should be ragging on her that much. She didn't know. She did not know. A lot of you women out there are dating people that will probably be in the headlines one day. So you should not, you know, make this woman look crazy when she actually helped in getting him in jail quicker, I must say. I did a video that's going to come on right after this one, but I wanted them to be separate. I didn't want Kimani's likeness to be inside this video. It was pretty much a collage of all the little things I had seen so far, and I didn't want to just, delete them out my phone. So I decided to just make a little collage of Kimani's, of her friends and her family, and it's there. And I just have to, when I talk about this man and everything that he's done in the past, the criminal stuff, the mental stuff, it's going to always go back to Kimani, because Kimani is the reason why, 99% of us even know Darnell. We don't live in Toledo. We don't live in Columbus, all the places that he stated that he lived in Ohio. We don't live there, so we would have never have known about him. So remember, the snippet coming up, he actually is on live, but it's in the dark, so you can't see him. And it was August 13th, 2019. So this was a month after he held his wife over that balcony and threatened to drop her. So I just feel a lot of people say, yeah, this person failed Kimani, this person failed Kimani. But you know what? Kimani would have still been alive had somebody not failed him. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Well, I just want everybody to know how I'm feeling right now. It's not too good. And it's just driving me crazy. I ain't gonna tell everybody too many details, because it's not too many people business. But I make goals, I set them, and I try to accomplish them. Most of them I have completed. You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is trying to change for the better, y'all. And motherfuckers still bring drama in my life. I ain't perfect. And I'm not asking to be perfect. All I'm asking is a motherfucker try to get an understanding about me and myself before you judge me. Because you never know what the output of anything can be. One word can change a person's life. One thing, one memory, one of anything could change a person's life if it's that meaningful to that person. People just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why people are so judgmental. Why are they so quick to assume instead of assuming or just expressing your opinion? Ask and get the information. If you don't believe it, it's upon you. It's an opinion. After that, that's your opinion if you don't believe. But this is just for everybody, because my mind is not right now. I'm in a fucked up state. I'm not happy. For real. And I'm not saying, and truth be told, I don't want to be here on earth no more. I don't want to live. Because, truth be told, y'all, I got family out there, and I know I haven't done no wrong to them. I got blood family that don't reach out to me, that know me, got my number. I got adopted family here in the city that I live in, that I know that I have not did wrong to. And I can't even call upon them for help. I got brothers that don't call me for shit.
Unfortunately, his life ended at that point, and there is no more that he said concerning that situation. But this is just another time where he said he didn't want to live. And of course, we know the other clip of his where he said again he didn't want to be here no more. So he's been saying this multiple times that he did not want to be here, you know? And I think a great many of us, always had that one person, whether it be a male or female, but they were always depressed and bringing down the situation and always had negative things to say. But when I look at his Facebook page, he was trying to be positive. He would put God in a lot of the situations. He was trying, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Obviously it didn't work. Look where he is. So it did not work. But yeah, I think a lot of people have failed him. I do. He really should have been in an institution a long time ago, monitored a long time ago. Unfortunately, the women around him, why, I don't know. I'm very observant. I see a lot. If something's not right, I speak about it. Maybe they just figured, oh, he's just going through something. Yeah, this is what he went through. This is something that he went through. So yeah, I believe that he just, again, was reaching out for help that he didn't get. And the law enforcement, unfortunately, with our health, you have to have insurance, or they don't even really want to talk to you, you know. But the fact that he was getting involved with the law enforcement so much, and they demanded him to do, okay, you have to, in order for you to not have to go to jail, you have to be clean when you come back in 90 days, or you're going to get tested every Thursday for 90 days. They did something to where he was able to pass that. I just hate the fact that nobody in that city, and I'm not just talking about the people that was, coming across him daily and the women that was living with him, so they saw his interactions daily, but the fact that they didn't say, look, we're going to sentence you. You have to go in here and you have to do this medical time. I think they call it a 50, 50, 51 or something like that, right? Where you have to go in and do some kind of observation where they would see that something was really wrong with him. He says it, something is not right within my mind, and he said this shit 3 years before he did this to Kimani. 3 years before. Kimani was like 11 then. So it's sad that, yeah, he didn't get the help that he needed so that he wouldn't have done that. I mean, damn, he's dangling his wife over the balcony. Yeah, he needed help. He really did.